This is Hardy Brute, and today I'm going to be playing Cards and Guns. This is sort of what I envisioned Vampire Survivors would be when it came out. And the cards aspect is a little misleading, because it's more about the equipment that you choose. So you get to choose 3 abilities at the very start. An area effect explosion, you can do a turret, you can get abilities that affect your gunshots. But you upgrade these with meta progression, and they keep their permanent upgrades. So you can increase the cooldown, the fire rate, the number of projectiles, the damage. And these sort of unlock throughout the game. You also have the ability to upgrade yourself. The only one I've purchased so far is to increase the number of projectiles from 1 to 3. So let's get it started. There are 4 characters. One has more tank, one has a different gun, one has more piercing. We only have the first character unlocked. So I'm going to take the 2 bullet upgrades and use the turret and see how that goes. There's a classic mode, a survivor mode, and an infinite mode. There's also varying degrees of danger levels. And the main aspects I wanted out of this, rather than Vampire Survivors, is that your abilities you activate yourself. You trigger them when you think you're in danger, you trigger them to survive. If you see a boss, you use it to kill the boss faster. Vampire Survivors became more of a build simulator for me. You're choosing the best layout, the best approach, the best combination of weapons, but you're kind of ignoring everything else. So every time you get gold and gems for free, you also get to choose 1 skill to upgrade for free. So let's choose the mining, I guess. And let's get the fire rate, or the damage, I think the fire rate. Skills increase in cost from level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the rounds starting from wave 1 up to wave 20 slowly increase in duration. The enemies also change. Now we're fighting these white ghosts. And the main thing I wish this game did have is that it would have even more upgrades. I could get bullets that do fire damage, or do chain, or have some sort of special effect. Right now the stats are kind of a little generic, so it's more damage, health regen, more speed, more range. Let's get the greed for now, which isn't a bad thing. And it keeps the game very balanced, but you don't quite explode the screen the same way. This game is more about surviving than destroying a lot. But you really feel it when you activate your abilities, which is pretty fun. And the music is really on point. It really gives you that classic feel. But as things upgrade, they become quite a bit stronger. Our turret, I think, originally shot 1 bullet. And the cooldown was so long, I wouldn't be able to start using it till about wave 5. So let's get more bullet damage. It's already level 2. Another interesting element of this game is that at the end of the wave, you suck in all of the gold, all the items around you, but the actual area effect is only so big. So I would hope that upgrading the pickup would affect that as well. So you kind of want to keep to a certain little circle at the start of the map. You don't really want to explore too much. You can definitely run around and try to find health or items, but you'll lose out on quite a bit of gold by doing that. And I've noticed that around wave 13, 14, that's when you really start almost dying. You start getting surrounded. You may not be able to one-shot anymore. Let's get the projectiles. I think that's the best upgrade that you can get. Projectiles, get some more. I can't afford the damage. Let's get more greed. Oh, I'm 2 gold short from that. That's sad. So I'm just going to save my gold. So now the wave is at 40 seconds per round. Which, the duration isn't the issue as much as it is this initial part right here. It's really easy to get surrounded before your first weapon comes off cooldown. And as soon as you can stabilize a little bit, it's not so bad. This is probably my 3rd or 4th run. I got pretty close on my last run, but I got destroyed at the end. So I haven't actually been able to beat this mode yet. And it looks like there's a magnet pickup over here, yeah. We can get even bigger magnet, or they get the bullet damage. Even more bullet damage. I can't afford it again, 380. get the Might, which gives us 5% more damage. I kind of assume that's the damage from our turrets and abilities, but I don't really know. Unless there's... Ooh, we're getting surrounded. See, we just took 11 damage right there. We only have 50 health. You don't heal after the wave. You can sometimes find little health jars, or you can have natural health regen, which is very slow health regen. Luckily there is iframes though, so you're not going to get hit back to back to back by like that big wave of bats. But if you remember when Vampire Survivors first came out, it didn't have nearly as many weapons or characters or guns. So this game has a lot of potential in my opinion. It just needs to capitalize on what it does best. Get some more mining, I guess. Could get the recover, the armor. I think buying all the level 1s is best, because when you get that free upgrade, it might be one of those level 2s. Oh man, that guy hit me for 9 damage. That bee just drops random bombs everywhere. So you have to really pay attention, and you really need movement speed to avoid. Right now we're pretty slow. But look how far away his bombs are from where he actually is. Also, I think he slowly takes damage over time, because sometimes he just explodes afterwards, without me even damaging him. Those pink squids were the first thing that killed me in this game. They do a lot of damage, and they usually take 2 hits, if you don't have any upgrades. So they destroyed me the first time. No, who get the health? Dang it. So we can get more fire rate or the might. I'm gonna get the fire rate, because I haven't noticed the might when I get it, that my bullet damage actually goes up. So that's why I think it affects your turrets and your abilities. Because right now I'm doing 8 damage per shot, and I think you start, I'm at 11. Wow. I think you start at 4 damage. Hopefully we can buy some recovery, since I've taken a bit too many hits. It's not really an issue as long as you heal between the waves, but we've been slowly accumulating damage. And the chest and the health recoveries are not guaranteed. You never know what's in those boxes. But I'm going to continue making small little circles, because every time you hear that clay pot break, that means something could have dropped. Ooh, there's health over there. I'm gonna heal. I healed only for 10, but that's still quite a bit. I definitely feel safer than I was. We can upgrade bullet damage, level 5. Level 5 costs 600 though, that's a lot. I think I'm gonna get the armor and the max health, and let's move on. So now we're up to a minute per wave. There are 20 total waves in the original mode. Dang it, man, we got hit again. Survivor says it lasts for 40 minutes, so I think it might last twice as long. I'm not really sure. The bee is coming a lot faster, much more frequent, and dropping a lot more bombs. I definitely don't feel safe. My turret is helping somewhat, though. But he's not always hitting the gray guys. And the bees take a lot of focus to take down. Man, there's so many bombs. We will probably be at about 40 health if we don't take another hit. The explosive bullets definitely have a little area effect when they hit things. The lightning electric bullets, I know they turn blue, but that's all I can be able to tell that they do. Well, let's get projectiles, because I think that's the best one. We can get some more might, some more bullet speed. Oh, and I didn't notice there was movement speed in the corner. I really needed that. So the first boss is that little spinning guy we saw earlier. But now he has that health bar. And he shoots quite a bit faster right before he dies. At my current difficulty, there's a boss at level 10. There's a boss at level 20 for the next difficulty. Let's get the bullet damage. And there's the movement speed that we finally wanted. Hopefully we can stop getting hit early on. And now we're fighting little flowers with eyeballs on them. Oh, this is not going well. We are getting surrounded pretty quickly. Another thing I could see, because the upgrades are so generic, is that the game itself will hold you back until you have a certain amount of progression. But I think that would also be solved if you add more things to upgrade, things to reroll for, things to look for. So I think just adding more things in general will benefit the game. And as soon as we have at least one or two of our turrets down, I start feeling pretty safe again. We're not going to get surrounded nearly as bad as we usually are. Ooh, and where are we going to heal all the way to max this time? I think if we don't take a hit, we'll do it. So we have one or two health regen upgrades. The bats themselves, too, are coming faster and faster. We got 200 gold that time. But you can see some of the gold on the left side over there. I can get more projectiles. Let's go. The next projectile costs 1,000. Wow. We get bullet speed, get range. And there's more movement speed. I really want the movement speed. I think that's the only way to actually live. Because lowering the damage is nice, recovering the damage is nice, but not taking the damage. And now that's what I like. This guy has tracking bullets. So we unlocked Survivor's Mode. So now we can do a run that lasts 40 minutes long. But if I can't even beat this normal mode, I probably shouldn't try the other mode. This guy is super annoying. In my previous run, I made the mistake of actually running into him, and I took like 40 damage and almost died instantly. So he does a lot of damage to you if you touch his big red ball. He still seems to die decently fast though. His tracking bullets are really annoying though. Even if I have the turrets backing me up. And his spawn rate is kind of insane. But luckily our explosive bullets do a lot of damage. And I think it's only level 3. And the highest thing we upgraded was the turret, because the cooldown was just so terrible on it. Gold gems. Let's get health, I guess, or magnet. I still don't know if magnet actually affects the final pickup. Also don't understand the point of luck, at least at the moment, because there aren't really rare skills. We've seen all of the skills. Maybe they're more rare if they're leveled up, I'm not sure. But we're not unlocking skills that we haven't seen before with rarity. Now there's little flame balls and blue balls. They still are coming pretty fast. Oh my goodness. The extra 30%, 20% movement speed though is helping a lot. I think it was on my second run, I had to start abandoning my turret and just to start running around. Which really only lasts a wave or two until they finally get you. And at the moment our turrets have a lifespan and a cooldown, and their lifespan is about long enough to have 2 of them at a time. Until they explode just like that. But I feel pretty safe in my little turret fortress. I can try to keep my lightning bolts up for one of those bats come by. And try to get the most gold. We might not always be able to just stand here though. If we have to start running around to survive, we're going to get a lot less gold per round. Which will make some of the upgrade costs impossible. We got like 300 gold right there. So let's get even more magnet in hopes that it helps us with the final suck. I could get fire rate, but I kind of want more movement speed. But I think I'm just going to get the health and the speed. I don't really want to waste gold just on rerolls. I'm definitely going to need the movement speed though, in order to survive these next few waves, I think. We're definitely getting pretty surrounded still. Just looks like there's the flames turned into skulls. Even more bats. And that was the boss we saw on level 10. I'm not sure if our damage increased, but we definitely haven't increased the number of our bullets. Which I don't think affects the turret, but it affects when we activate our special bullet damage. Because the bullet damage is added onto our regular bullets. We also can't stack the explosive and the lightning bolts, which I found kind of sad. But as soon as one of the cooldowns runs out, then the other one keeps being used. So the game has potential to overlay skills, overlay abilities, maybe even combine them. You get a special power if you choose a certain layout. So there's lots of ways this game could grow. But I'm still having quite a bit of fun, just with this current version. There's definitely some intensity trying to survive, and you take a lot of damage. We got like 400 gold right at the end. Double our free gold. Probably get the bullet rate is the best one. Get the movement speed, level 3. And we can buy recovery or health. Let's get the recovery, and I think we're running out of things that are cheap to buy in the store now. So everything's going to cost 400 gold. Which is quite a bit. The fire rate is helping, but we're still, oh my god. Those flames are so fast. The little candle guys. And this is why I wanted the recovery over the flat health gain. Because I assumed we were going to start getting hit. At least once per wave. But this is definitely where the game starts getting into danger zone. If you don't have enough meta progression or levels on your skills or yourself. The bee is just so fast. Now that my turrets are set up though, I'm in a pretty good spot. I'm also really interested to see what other skills this game has to offer. There's also a score mechanic in the top left, which ranks you against other players. But I really don't think it has any effect outside that. We're also slowly reaching the cap on how strong you can get within a run itself. How much bullet damage you get, how much fire rate you get, how many bullets you get. So we still have a few left to get, but hopefully we can survive. We gained 300 extra gold at the end there. Ooh, and the new Tesla tower. Nice. So that's something else we can spend our resources to upgrade. And the increase in projectile, that's the final upgrade for that. Let's buy the growth, it's level 1. Movement speed, I really want movement speed. And we can get the armor as well. So now we reach the cap on number of bullets, and we need one more movement speed to cap that out. Because they only go to level 5. We took 8 damage there, the armor is actually paying off. The bats are now red, and they seem to be pulling or guiding towards your character. Ooh, we killed the bee. Seems like he drops a gold pouch every single time he dies. I'm also not able to maintain the circle of protection without my skills being activated. I need to constantly spam them. I used to be able to hold off on using the lightning, use it for emergencies, use it on bats or bosses that came by, but there's just a constant beratement of things. The explosive bolts is kind of OP though. It really does just clear the entire screen. And slowly they're encroaching back in. This game is very chill vibey though. You just relax to the music. And things aren't too threatening. I think the highest wave I've gotten to is 17 or 18. Double money. Let's get the magnet. The fire rate. I could buy the bullet speed, but I don't really see a point in that. And there's movement speed, but I can't afford it. So let's buy the luck and the growth just to get rid of it. I really don't like the Archon tracking bullets. Especially at the start of the level. That seems unfair. They just constantly respawn. I'm actually going to guide him around my turret, and hopefully my turret can kill him. So I'm just going to avoid that guy completely. I don't think we can clear the wave anymore. We're always getting pushed in by one thing. This is 17, so there's 3 more waves after this. So it's only going to get worse. And last time I almost beat it, but I got surrounded. And I just constantly took too much damage. This was the first time I started with the extra projectile though. So I think that's going to be the big difference. Because while it's not extra damage, it is something hitting another target, hopefully. There's so many Archons. It's pretty good for the gold though. We're going to have about 1,000 gold, so we can probably afford the any level 5 upgrade we haven't gone. 950 to... Wow, we got 600 extra gold there at the end. Let's get the magnet and the movement speed. And the might, which might give us more damage, I'm not sure. I can only afford the greed or the growth. That's sad. It's impossible for us to kill those bees when we don't have a skill activated. And might deals with percentages, so maybe if it's only a whole number. Because right now we're doing 12s. So 5% more of 12 would bring the damage up to 12.6, so unless it's rounding upwards, or deals with whole numbers, it doesn't do anything. So that could be the case. But I really don't know. There are so many bats. Ooh, we killed that bee, like mid-flight. That was perfect. He didn't even drop any bombs on us. And it feels faster too. Like they're coming towards us faster. Not just that there's more enemies. Because I do believe we're still one-shotting them the entire time. We destroyed the sorcerer. That guy isn't nearly as much as the threat as the Archon is. Oh my goodness. We really need both turrets up to feel safe. We're already back up to 1,000 gold. This game is a bit painful when you make it this far into a run and then you die though. And you have to restart all over again. Because you invested at least 20-25 minutes in it. 1,400 gold. Get might level 5 or the armor. The range is definitely the most useful. Range, rate of fire, damage. The recovery could help. And let's get the level 5 range. So we're maxed out there. And we're still pretty far away from that bee before it triggers. So our attack range is awful. Ooh, I'm gonna have to start running. And my buff doesn't seem to last quite long enough. I think duration is also a part of the buff as you level up the skill. Oh my goodness. At least the explosive bullets do really well. I now have 2 turrets, so I feel quite a bit safer. They're still coming. They're always coming. So if this is wave 19, wave 20, I'm gonna have to run around the entire map. Because I'm barely able to control this situation. I need to constantly spam, and I'm not so interested in making gold anymore. There's not a whole lot of things we can spend the gold on anyways. I'm just trying to survive. I would like to see what happens after you beat this game. I know you unlock a new character. We did unlock a weapon in the run. But I'm curious to see if you get other unlocks just from beating it the first time. We're still gonna have maybe 2,000? I don't know. We're gonna have quite a bit of gold still. 1,300, that's a little disappointing. 1,450, okay. They double gold. I'm gonna upgrade the bullet speed, I guess. Although I really don't like doing that, because what's the point of having your bullets travel faster? I also think we're running out of things to upgrade. So as we reroll the shop, we're going to see the same things over and over. So this is the final wave. There's now blue flowers. And oh my god. Well, we survived with the explosions. But now it is gone. Oh my goodness. They're getting so close. Oh, we got hit there. Took 8 damage. We have some health regen, but I don't know if it's gonna matter. We heal like 2 HP every 10 seconds or so. Oh, this is the top of the map. This is not good. I didn't know there was a top of the map. Let's just keep moving, keep moving. It's fine. Hopefully they'll all focus that turret over there. That would be awesome. I have no powers right now. I got hit again. Ooh, there's health over there. Nice, we're back up to full. I feel like we're taking damage and we would die the next wave for sure, but I think we're gonna get this wave done. Oh, thank goodness it ends at wave 20. If I wasn't able to one-shot any of these guys, I would already be dead probably. That's one reason why I think the game could lean too heavily on progression. But what we have to see in later levels and difficulties if that's true or not. Because the numbers we're dealing with are pretty small. We started at 4 damage and now we're doing 12. So we're doing 3 times the damage. But it's still a very small number. And we won, let's go. It's the first time we won, so we unlocked Orion. We defeated 12,000 enemies. Earned 11,000 gold. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Later.